You certainly want to put on your gloves if you don't want to stain your hands too much. Now for the pinwheel section, you can see that I'm taking it in 2 sections. I'm not actually pre-sectioning everything. I like to kind of choose, do my sections as I do it. And I just find I have more control that way. I don't like predetermining where I'm going to put what colour. I like to just kind of decide that as I go. And you'll notice I'm holding the hair out and I'm starting by painting the perimeters first. And I just find that that helps me keep everything nice and neat. And then I'll open it up and get in between. There's quite a large section here. If you take large sections, you'll move through the hair fairly quick. But it's completely up to you depending on what sort of look you want. If you wanted to do this and take lots of little sections, you'd get a beautiful result. It obviously would just look a bit different. And when I start my pinwheel section, I always like to start it just underneath the bone in the back of the head. Unless you want it to look like a stripy pinwheel, then you would obviously start this on the crown, on the top of the head. But most of the time I like my colours to blend and not look too stripy, so I will more often than not start my pinwheel just below the bone in the back of the head. And you may notice I'm being extremely thorough with this application, and that is the key to any vivid work, is just be thorough. Be like ridiculously super thorough. Go over it and then go over it again. Sometimes go over it 3 times. Because your color doesn't process, you don't have that activator, you are having to physically, like, manually push this color in. There's nothing to do the work for you, you know. So again, I'm painting the perimeters, split that open, get inside. And then I will just put my hand underneath and kind of use my hand as you would a balayage board, I suppose. And I'll swipe. Notice that I will swipe the color like that from side to side. So I'm kind of spreading the hair open as I'm doing it, getting in between all the hair strands, not just going down, but actually swiping side to side. That is a really good technique for just spreading the color on there and really making sure that you're opening that hair up and you're getting inside. And I'm not really rubbing the color through as much as I'm just trying to open up the hair. I comb it through as well, just to really separate everything. And now you can see how thorough that is. And you can also see how I'm just scraping off the excess product, and notice that the excess product is not the same color anymore as it was when it went on. And that's because the dyes have already gone into the hair. So I will just scrape that excess product off and then reapply more fresh product, because that excess product is no good to you anymore. There's no use sitting there rubbing and trying to rub it all in when it's already kind of absorbed. So I would take that excess product off, wipe it off with a towel, and reapply with new product. Very important. You're essentially just rubbing around conditioner if you're constantly trying to rub it in. Notice that my sections, I'm holding them, I'm like elevating them up, and I'm holding them away from my client's face. Just these little tips and tricks will just help you to keep everything nice and neat. I've seen some shocking jobs done when care has not been taken to avoid colour on clients' faces. And you'll notice, like, I am putting it on the roots, even though I know that the roots are a level 5, it's still going to make a huge difference. It's still going to add tone to those roots and just kind of blend in this whole look. Notice I'm swiping again from side to side. Super, super thorough application. Once you think you've got it on, scrape it off and just go over it again. I think that is the biggest secret when it comes to Vivids. It's a double application, pretty much. I like to use my comb. I scrape, I don't leave things really, really saturated. Like once I'm finished putting the colour on, I scrape a lot of that excess colour off, and I find that just helps me not to get cross-contamination. So you notice that I laid that section down straight over my purple piece that's underneath there, and I didn't get any cross-contamination because all the colour has gone straight into the hair, and I scraped off that excess residue. Swiping from side to side, opening that hair up,